What's up guys, Chris here with Cali Moto TV. Welcome back to the channel. We're going to test some stuff out on the X5. We went for a nice ride out here in the middle of nowhere. I almost got attacked by a dog. You're going to see that, but we want to see what the Insta360 X5 in 8K looks like through the desert mountain road. So let's have some fun, go for a ride. Yeah, we just went for a little ride there with the X5 and I had the Ace Pro 2, but I had the wrong settings on, so the footage is absolutely garbage. But I want to talk about a few of the aspects that actually were very interesting to me, that kind of surprised me about the footage that I got, and we'll look at that here. So I had this X3 and I really never used it that often. While it allows, you know, there's different angles and stuff, you can obviously spin around and see different areas. The issue that I have with it is it wasn't that good of quality. Even at 4K or 5.7K at 30 frames, it just wasn't that good, especially when I compared it to, or had to, you know, blend it in with my Canon R5 footage. You could see that 4K and of the R5 and this 4K were so vastly different that it made it look like it was 1080p at best. I saw the footage coming from the X5, especially when I think 650 Eve did his nighttime check or nighttime ride. I was pretty impressed. You know, low light was very clear and just the image quality and sharpness was there. So I kind of went back and forth with it, and I ultimately decided to obviously get one. I bought this. This isn't sponsored by Insta360 or anything. So what I'm saying isn't because they paid me, it's because what I found with it, okay? So one of the biggest things that I noticed when reviewing the footage was honestly the clarity. At 8K 30, the image was incredibly clear. It was sharp. You could see all the detail, and honestly, there was a lot of detail. If you go into the Insta360 Studio, you can turn up the clarity, you can turn on the vibrance, you can turn up detail if you want, but straight from camera is actually really good to begin with. The other thing is, I really like the standard color profile of this. Like I said, the Ace Pro 2, those color profiles, I have to play around with them a lot in post because they're either too warm or they're too cool or they're too hot. The highlights are too much, or the saturation is too crazy, and I got to play around with them a lot. Straight out of camera, I like how the X5 footage looks with minimal color grading. I honestly do very little bit because it's not oversaturated. The greens and the browns, because in Arizona, like, you have crazy blue sky, and then you'll have a very gray, brown, tan background, and it'll tend to oversaturate stuff. Like GoPros, they will warm the crap out of that image because it's such a blue sky. It's like, oh, it's super cool, so we're gonna pump in warmth, and it just becomes a very hard color or hard image to try to correct and bring all that down. Whereas this, the X5, it came out rather on point. Like, what you see with your eyes, what you're actually getting out of camera, and I quite enjoyed that. Something I want to point out that actually helps with the image clarity is the stability. Now, while in camera it's obviously has a stabilizer and it's rather good, this little guy, the Insta360 shock absorber, is fantastic. Now, you have to understand how it works. It up and down. So if you put it out like this, it might work a little bit with the jutters, and this does add weight to whatever it is you're attaching it to. So I highly recommend strong adhesive mounts, not suction cup, because it will fall off. I found that out, unfortunately, with my Ace Pro 2. But yeah, if you put it in any vertical configuration, this really helps the oscillations. And even I was at like 3/4 like this coming out the side of the bike, and you can tell the footage is super stable. And if you're wanting to improve and take your image stabilization up just another level, this little guy helps a ton. So go online, try to find an Insta360 shock absorber, whether it's they're branded or third party, whatever. Just try to find one. This will help a ton. You know, something I heard or read from other people that have used the camera, especially when you're shooting 8K 30, because it's a lot of footage. It's a lot of data for this camera to handle. So it's going to heat up. And other people, I don't think anyone's really had any issues with the heat. It's 100+ out here in Arizona, and I had zero issues filming 10-15 minutes worth of content continuously with the camera set to 8K and 30. So at its highest setting, it didn't fail. That's a huge step up, because again, my GoPros, even inside of a car, would overheat if it was anywhere above 80. Aside from the image quality and honestly the color grading and the color profiles that it has standard, I wish it did have a 10-bit iLog. I'd like to color grade, and every time you try to color grade an 8-bit, it just doesn't turn out great. So Insta360, if you can add 10-bit, it would make it almost perfect. No camera's perfect, but it would push this over the edge for sure. It's already amazing now. But the thing that I think makes it really stand out to me, and I was honestly blown away, is the mic. All of the audio that you hear is straight from camera. I didn't do anything to it. I don't have an external mic plugged into it. I didn't have any of the DJI mics plugged into it. This is straight from camera, and to be on the side of the bike in the wind, going at speed, and have that good of audio quality, impressive. Because the Ace Pro 2 has the same, I honestly did the same thing when I first got it. I was pretty impressed with the in-camera wind reduction that it has, because you know, it's on the helmet, it's on a bike, like that's what you're getting is wind noise. And to be able to not only block it out, because GoPros, especially in the past, it would block out some, but like you could hear what it was trying to do, and it was never a pleasant sound. It always sounded tin or hollow or metallic or just extra obnoxious, even at its highest setting. This and wind reduction, I think plus, it sounds freaking fantastic. Like, I took it straight from camera and put it in, and then I have another clip that I did a little bit of tweaking to, and I do mean just a little bit of tweaking. And it sounds like I had a nice external mic hidden somewhere away from the wind. So that alone really stands out to me as a plus. I'm interested to see what's like on track when we go up to a good bit higher speeds, if it'll still maintain that audio quality. But if you mix it in as probably a secondary track and you lower it and have like another mic, I think this would make it so you can hear the bike even better without needing to run another mic out from this camera onto something else attached to the bike itself. So Insta360 X5, the internal microphone is far and away above the competition from what I've seen and what I've experienced with GoPros. It's top notch. And then the final thing that I really enjoyed so far about it is just the removable lenses. You know, again, with the Ace Pro 2, I didn't get the Ace Pro because the lenses weren't interchangeable. You know, we ride or drive and stuff hits it, right? Or it falls off. And cracked screens are a reality. So being able to change out these lenses is huge. And another reason why I went with the X5. I tend to skip, like if I get, say, an X3 like I did, the X4 came out and I was looking at it, I'm like, it's not quite there yet. Once this came out, you're like, okay. So I tend to skip a generation in between the one that I already have, and I've found that Insta360 has really improved every second generation from the one that I had. So if you're in the market looking for one of these, I do actually have a promo code. It's in the description down below. Go check it out. Go check this camera out. I think they have sales going on right now too. So, I mean, if you're looking for a 360 camera, this thing is already phenomenal, and I haven't used it a ton, but I'm definitely going to use it more. Now that I have a bike that I don't mind putting adhesive mounts onto, like the other bikes I didn't like doing that, but now that I have one, we're just going to stick them all over the bike and see what type of footage we can get. So I hope you'll enjoy this video. This is my quick sort of test and reaction to the Insta360 X5, and I'm honestly blown away. But again, they didn't pay me for this. This is all my opinion based off of what I see. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you like any content like this, subscribe because it does come out often. And you'll have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the next video.